there, Lynx here, and welcome to Mirage Noir Prologue. Yes, the full game is not out. Maybe it will be at some point, right? But we get to play the prologue a little bit, so let's continue. I woke up at dawn. Then the second one came. Wait, was it set up like this? Okay, it's changed for some reason. Then the second one came. Third. 6. What? Oi, your math is not correct. Days slowly passed by, filled with everyday life concerns and duties. Worrying thoughts were deeply rooted in my heart. The stranger was still unconscious. No one knew he was here. I wouldn't have any trouble if I had to ease his suffering. He didn't die, but I wasn't sure if he would ever recover. Perhaps I was too optimistic? I should let him on that glade, where he could just silently drift away into the cold. I was conflicted. Very conflicted. I really wanted him to leave, but I preferred not to prolong things unnecessarily. I couldn't have this sort of commitment. I live here alone. I had other responsibilities, like the white tiger. The village relied on me. Okay, well, there's also that apparently. I wouldn't mind if he was somehow dysfunctional, but could help me physically with daily duties. There was no helping him if he was in a coma. Just stop it. I knew living here wouldn't be easy. Life was full of hard choices we needed to make. Unfortunately, the countryside was harsh. It made you look at things from a very pragmatic, sometimes cruel point of view. However, this shouldn't be an excuse. I wiped my face with a shaking hand. There was another way, but it wasn't my forte. If I wouldn't succeed, nothing would change for him. Not much risk for him, but it was a huge danger for me. I wasn't sure if I should risk my life for a stranger. No? I sighed heavily as I stirred the potato porridge that already went cold, making Lynx hungry. Why did I have to put myself in such a mess? I regretted the decision I made that night. I should have stayed at home and... I was the one who brought him here, so I had to reap what I sow. The ceremony would be performed tonight. What am I talking about right now? I don't know what I'm talking about. The floor creaked loudly when I nervously paced around. I tried to elevate the body of the unknown man, but it wasn't easy. His head fell limply onto the shoulders. Arms dangled like a shirt, carelessly thrown on the chair. What a pity. I sat on a bed in front of him. The ritual itself didn't need any special requirements. I just needed a calm mind. I glanced at Poe. She was full of doubts. Her big eyes stared deeply with me. She hoped everything would be okay. I silently nodded. Oi, that's me? I'm freaking cute! I should change voice then, shouldn't I? Freak. I freaking knew. I kind of have hopes maybe it's a guy. We are, but no. Let's go like that then. Relax, calm your mind and clean your thoughts. Deep breath. Quietly listen to my surroundings. The wind ran through the snowy meadows. I could hear a fire in a stove. It carelessly slid down from our trunk to another. Pow rested in the corner. I like her eyes, by the way. Her breath was almost unhearable. My heart was steady. I could hear how it... Mine is not. I could hear how it arduously pumped the blood through my veins. Without a stop. Thump. And thump. I quietly whispered, I am the master of my body. Every muscle, every nerve is obedient. Your breath... Your breath is getting deeper. You become ethereal. Yumina? Wait. It's good that my dog doesn't hear that. You know, that's not... He absolutely hates it. And he would start barking at me about that, so... Still asleep, so it's a-okay. Lightness. Your body is acquiescing to your will. You are free. Ditch your human body. You rise slowly from the shell beneath and look at the pitiful man in front of you. And you slap. You notice that his soul is conscious but unable to synchronize with the body. That's crazy. Your attention is caught by the red spot that looks like a small grain. You get close to him as you try to take it out. But yeah, you don't see that, like my hand is going. It won't budge. You need help. Fight! The red matter reacts and you feel slight stinging pain. You won't give up. Fight! The pain gets more intense, but you will not back off, no matter what. Find Vesper! Who's Vesper? Is he Vesper? I mean, maybe she saw the soul, so she knows. The soul of the stranger starts to glow with the white light. You quickly draw out your palm as the red matter simply disappears. Just like that. A sharp pain strikes you and the world goes dark. The darkness has engulfed us. I got to my body quite rapidly. A gruesome sensation overwhelmed my nerves. The scene I witnessed during the astral projection confused me. No wonder the stranger wouldn't wake up. The parasite that fed upon his soul was quite ferocious. I remember the gruesome sensation when I tore it out. I shuddered with disgust. A pulsating headache engulfed my temples. The pain was worse than my usual migraines. I carefully sat near the man to observe if anything changed. You know what? It's too freaking dark here. I carefully sat near the man to observe if anything changed. Alright, just go light everything up behind me more stronger, more strongly, stronger, in a stronger way, right? A little bit. Still, I need a front light. Anyway, I carefully sat near the man to observe if anything changed. He regained his consciousness. What if I go? For a horror game? Yeah. Now not. The pale skin shone from the droplets of sweat. His breath was still a bit heavy, but it was within the horn. Norm! Sorry, Norm. Finally, he opened his eyes. They had a lively green shade. I mean, supposedly this is green. I consciously stared at them. Yo. Confusion was the first emotion that appeared on the stranger's face. Fear was the second one. Nevertheless, he remained silent.
The man observed my every move and gesture with a great attention. He behaved like a scared animal that noticed its huntsman. I got up gradually and didn't want to stress him more. He smiled weakly. Looks like he noticed my effort. It made me feel a bit more confident. Pao observed us from the shadow of the room and was like, maybe I should get out to leave those two alone. The white-haired man was silent. How are you? His pupils dilated a bit. He shyly broke the eye contact. Do you understand me? He stared at the feather bed as unknown words were escaping his mouth. It sadly confirmed my concerns. He's not from this country. If he could understand me, maybe I should feed him? Food was an universal language after all, kind of, maybe? I gently pat his shoulder. Breaking personal space made him jump a bit. I turned away slowly. The kitchen was right in the next room, so yeah. I want to prepare something easy to digest. There was a touch. Why are you touching me? He caught my hand with his cold palm. This sudden move surprised me. I lost my balance when he pulled me softly.
Huh?
I didn't have much energy left in me, but I still tried to get up. His grip tightened.
What?
He didn't intend to let me go.
What?
I was astonished by this insolence.
So am I.
Didn't struggle, but I glanced at Poe in the hope she'd give him a good scare. My familiar didn't intend to help. In fact, she was amused. Why you... I cursed at her in mind. Well, since she didn't intend to help me, it was the right time to be more abrupt. I stared the man with anger and disbelief. How could he behave like that? It was rude. His smile became wider. I don't think he understood my anger because he moved closer.
What is going on?
It startled me. I blushed. I passively anticipated his next move. He didn't look like a helpless person anymore. Instead, his presence was rare. Inhale. Exhale. Everything was weird. I didn't behave rationally, but I couldn't do anything about it. A stunning sensation struck me deeply. Unrestrained joy. Happiness. Darkness turned into light. Freedom. Taste of life. It all became so vivid. Wait a minute. Those were not my feelings. My mind was filled with immense memories. The icy coffin, the cold forest, and the dangerous beast lurking in the shadow. Yeah, about the beast, it's right there, so... The void swallowed everything around. The frightening redness attacked from within. My face. A feeling of relief dominated the space. It was weird to be seen as some sort of savior. The man channeled his recollection through a telepathic connection. He tried to make up for not being able to speak a common language. It was foolish of me to misread his intentions. My face got red from embarrassment, like crazy red. I hope he didn't perceive my distress. I would die of shame. He distanced himself. His gaze said it all. Oh, so he knows. Great! Nevertheless, Vesper was happy as if a heavy burden was lifted from his shoulders.
How do you know his name?
I wasn't in the mood to argue anymore. It was irrational, but I didn't want to be on guard right now. Pao didn't intervene either. I trusted her judgment. Exhaustion finally consumed my mind. I lay down and I didn't care about my surroundings. A rough hand gently caressed my unruly hair. Or maybe I just imagined it.
Who knows? Well, I don't. I regained my consciousness. I was alive. Everything that unfolded after my awakening was a blur. Blur. Because I wasn't able to perceive it for long. The world was torn from me by the golden eye creature. I was back to where I came from. Sometimes I thought that this thing had a mind on its own. Created just to toy with me. It teased me with the possibility of getting out. A place where I was stuck between everything. Life, death, time, and there were things. The things I longed for as long as I was allowed to remember. I would rather be dead, torn to pieces by that wild beast. Ripped apart by its sharp teeth and rough claws.
I mean, it still can be done, right?
Yet I floated here again. My body was still alive. I was allowed to feel a bitter regret. There was no way to count days in the pitch-black, hollow place. I had no idea how much time passed since that brief comeback to the outside world. The only thing that slightly changed was the fact that I no longer felt the deadly coldness. My surroundings were warm and cozy? Maybe something changed after all. No, forget it. I wouldn't be here if that was true. Hope was useless. Soon it would all disappear anyway. I knew the rules very well. I wasn't granted the right to have any specific memories. And will be eaten.
I'd rather not be eaten.
All will fade. Nothing was sacred to that gluttonous parasite. All that was left was a basic knowledge of how to interact within society, or other meaningless things. It only strengthened my longing after a normal life.
Understandable.
Now, even if I knew about my awakening, the chance I would lose the memories was high. Or maybe it wanted me to remember, so I could feel more miserable. Yes, it was possible. I did have some of those unclear and obscure memories that didn't make any sense. I knew I had a life. I didn't. Whoa. My aimlessness was abruptly interrupted. Something weird happened to the space around me. There was a deformation. It changed. It flashed. My eyes were struck by astonishing colors that I had never seen before in this dangerous place. A vivid red appeared in the area of my chest. It pulsated in a way, a rhythmic sensation. A sharp pain pierced my dulled senses. I tried to shake it off, but it was pointless. So I did what I was good at. I surrendered. It wasn't that uncomfortable once you didn't struggle. The itching pain was somehow familiar. It always accompanied me, but I blocked it out. There was probably a reason for this, but I didn't care. No point, it would only bring me disappointment. I wanted to be idle again. But I couldn't. The sharp pain cracked me again. Fight. That one simple word shattered the silence. The red pulse intensified together with a burning sensation. The state of surprise. Fight. Don't give up. Quickly turned into a desperate determination. I wanted to get out, after all. I really did. I longed for freedom all this time. Any type of freedom. Be it death, be it life, anything. The more I struggled, the worse it got. I had an urge to get rid of their redness. They cling to me like a parasite. I grasped it with my hand and tried to yank it out. To my bewilderment, a transparent, delicate palm also tried to rip the red point from my chest. Fight, Vespa. I seized the crimson core even stronger. Our hands excluded each other in the blackness, but somehow we fought together to achieve the goal. Giving up was not an option. The scarlet grain gave up and disintegrated into pieces. Just like that. I was lighter. So was I. For a brief moment I saw the silhouette of a young woman, which disappeared in the ray of light. The darkness mellowed. And I saw my real surroundings. A man light in bed. Light in bed right next to a curled up girl. Huh? Her body radiated with soft warm light, while his body was no different than a lifeless object. The man's face was calm and absent. His hair was messy too.
Oh, sounds like me.
I didn't wait long before I slipped into my rigid shell.
This I need somewhere in here. Like a white freaking light.
But also not too blinding, right?
Ah, but I don't even have a place to put it. Anyway.
What can I say? Being suspended between life and death definitely had some pros.
Did it?
I didn't have to bother with controlling my rusty body.
Okay.
And the first thing I experienced after coming back was unbearable heat. Even when my hands were covered in a cold sweat. I didn't feel this shitty the last time I woke up. Welcome to life. Probably. I stopped thinking about myself when I remembered that there was a girl right next to me. She didn't look great either.
What do you mean? She's plenty cute.
Her expression was twisted and her fists were clenched tightly. I slowly moved my fatigued body. I wanted to check if she needed any help. Oh, then I saw them. The golden eyes lurked from the dark. The ones that stared me in the forest. I froze. My heart raced like crazy. I anticipated the attack, but no such thing happened. Instead, a massive beastly head emerged from the shadow. Its eyes observed my movement carefully.
I didn't do anything.
When it got closer, I noticed that the beast was in fact a giant cat. I couldn't recall its species, but I was sure I saw it in my cloudy past. The animal approached the young woman and bumped her with its head.
Boop! Boink!
A soft mumble came out her mouth. I think I saw a sight of relief in his golden eyes. The cat glanced at me. A warning. It let me know I was observed. The beast went back to the shelter of the shade. And I stayed still. I didn't want to provoke it unnecessarily, but also I was not that kind of man. The girl mumbled again, and slowly sat on the bed. You know who she's similar to? I mean, if you played Everlasting Summer, then you know who I'm thinking of. We played Everlasting Summer, by the way, like ages ago, years ago actually. Holy crap, it's been so long. But such a good game, Everlasting Summer, yeah. It surprised me how quickly it happened. There was no grace in her movement. She was tired, as if life was drained from her. When she noticed I was awake, I saw a glimmer of interest in her sight. I remember that a big, deadly beast still observed me, so I didn't try to approach the woman on my own. She got up. Her rough movement betrayed she was in pain. It was just a brief motion, as she quickly masked her discomfort with a neutral stance. I wasn't surprised. It was reasonable to stay on your guard, near a suspicious stranger. Her next move threw me a bit off guard. She moved closer as she tried to judge my expression. Her eyes pierced me. I didn't shy away, even though she stared at me for quite some time. It was rude, but maybe I can use this. I should follow my hunch. It was an unfamiliar place and I needed allies.
How are you?
Thanks. Could be better. Quiet, idiot. She caught me off guard. I was surprised when I understood her speech. I should stay silent and see how the situation will unfold.
Dude, just talk with her for fuck's sake.
She noticed something was on my mind.
Do you understand me?
What should I do?
Give me the choice. Give me the choice. Give me the choice.
Think.
What the fuck? This is a Polish game? Oi! Are you serious right now? Ciao tomate. Mirage Noir Prologue. Come on. Oh, yo. Is it a...
Are you serious right now? Come on. Do you have social media? Come on. I need your social media right now. Holy crap. Dude. I mean... By the way, you don't really hear me speaking Polish in freaking this channel, right? So, you might actually have a chance for once. And I don't like that idea. Wait a second. Games soundtrack. Sebastian, okay. Alexander.
Kevin MacLeod, of course.
Okay, and something about the dev. I want something about the dev, please. I need info about the dev. So to be fair, I'm pretty certain at this moment that this is a Polish production. Which is kinda nuts. But I'm not going to complain, okay? Because in the soundtrack there is a Polish name, so I mean there is also like Russian one? Maybe even two of those, but yeah. Recommended. When? There's more? Like a chapter 1. Okay, this is in development, so alright. Not touching that topic yet. We are over here with Prologue. That's what we are playing. Also, this is a Polish game for sure, I think. If not, still, they are using Polish. Anyway. Przepraszam. Nie rozumiem. That didn't sound Polish, I know. But it was Polish, yeah. These words are absolutely random to me. They had no meaning. That's bullshit. They meant I'm sorry, I don't understand. Stop lying, Vesper. Maybe Vesper is like Kacper? Whatever. I don't want to say anything in an existing language.
You bastard! Polish actually exists, okay? It really does exist, man. Come on.
But for now. She sighed with hearable disappointment and patted my back unexpectedly. The girl broke the barrier of touch between us. My senses picked up. The big cat had relaxed for the first time since I regained my consciousness. I thought it was a good time to make my move. When the woman got up, I gently caught her by the wrist. It surprised her, but she didn't try to get away. I tightened my grip and pulled her closer. I want to stop her from going away. I didn't anticipate that she wouldn't resist and fell straight onto me. She was too exhausted to make any energetic movements. Damn, I really lost my touch. It did work in my favor, as I didn't have much strength to hustle either. What I wanted to do could be easily misunderstood. She couldn't get away, so she turned to me. I saw her raw anger. In her grey eyes, I didn't find any hint of fear. It made me a bit anxious, but the giant cat still calmly observed us. So far, so good. I knew that it was risky, but I still wanted to follow my intuition. I needed a patron that would help me get accustomed to these new surroundings. I wanted to survive. That was why I smiled as freely as I could. I sensed her pulse. It got faster. Pupils of her eyes widened as curiosity fought with her fear. It was all so easy. I leaned closer to rattle her emotions. For me it was just an act, but I wanted to be convincing. I tried not to be distracted by her soft lips when the distance between us got shorter. It wasn't easy to hold myself back. However, I'm not that kind of man, and I was able to hold myself back. I stopped just a few millimeters before her ear. It baffled me when a vision of a kiss appeared in her mind. There was no way I would follow that trap. Instead, I overthrew her thoughts. I sent her a projection of my emotions. I tried hard to make them as innocent and pure as I could. Wait a second. Do you see that? I see that? Don't you think like there is still like kind of a stain on his chest over here? Like from that parasite, kind of looks like it, doesn't it? That's pretty neat. It wasn't easy. A feeling of embarrassment stung me. It was her own disappointment. She was surprised that she expected something more. I backed away so she could see my face. She realized I knew about her inner conflict. I shouldn't do it, but I couldn't help myself. The girl sighed softly, as if she didn't care anymore. She barely had the strength to sit. Her eyelids were opened by the sheer power of will. The exhaustion finally caught up. To my surprise, she laid her head on my lap. It didn't take her long to fall asleep. I was confused by her carelessness. Maybe she was just confident that her golden-eyed companion would tear me to shreds if I tried anything funny. Well, I couldn't move away. I didn't know anything about the situation I was in. I hesitantly raised my hand to pet her long, wheat-colored hair. I closed my eyes. A plain blackness welcomed me. It was different than the phenomena I was engulfed in not too long ago. An irrational fear of falling asleep didn't leave me. I couldn't get rid of it. There were so many issues I had to deal with, so I should try to focus on them. I still didn't remember anything worth noting, but there... Wait, what? But there... Fuck, there's some sort of... But there was some social knowledge engraved deep within me. I think that's more correct. I knew how to act around people and how to try to bend their will to my favor.
I don't like that.
Thoughts occupied my mind. One of them made me especially concerned. How did she know my name?
Thank you!
Maybe she saw me in the past. Or perhaps it wasn't my real name and she just came up with something. Those questions bothered me. I couldn't find acceptable answers. The only thing I could do was to wait and see. So we'll wait and see in the next episode. I think so, yeah. Yeah, I mean, because the night was long, so I hope this is morning or whatever. We'll find out tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed.
We'll record more tomorrow. And tomorrow is Friday night.
So I will probably also finish recording the entire prologue, however long it is, on that Friday night. Maybe even move to something else as well, if I'll have enough time. But for now, this would be it, because Friday actually began, and at the end of it I can record. So yeah. Anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.